All right, good evening. This is the August 19th, 2020 City Council meeting, which I'm calling to order. Before we do the Pledge of Allegiance, I just wanted to read something for the public since we're during this interesting time right now. Because of the reduced capacity of our council chambers due to the state's distancing requirements and recognizing that some residents will be more comfortable attending the meeting virtually, we are providing for public input via Zoom. You can go to our webpage at cottagegrovemn.gov, click on the public meetings, quick links box, and then the link to the August 19th, 2020 meeting for the various options if you would like to speak during open forum or for any regular agenda items. In accordance with state guidelines, the person speaking inside the council chamber is allowed to remove his or her face covering, but only while talking. Again, the city's been working hard to make adjustments based on the state's COVID-related guidelines. We want to be transparent, accessible, and inclusive, and we hope these measures will help accommodate everyone who wishes to participate in our open and public meetings. So again, just kind of going through our agenda, the next item is the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'd please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, will the clerk please do the roll?
Councilmember Mills. Councilmember Dennis.
Here.
Councilmember Thiede.
Here.
Councilmember Olson.
Here.
Mayor Bailey.
Here. Next on our agenda is open forum. This is the opportunity for anybody that would like to speak on something that's not on tonight's agenda is welcome to do so at this time. We will pause for a second. I know we didn't have anybody sign up out in the entryway here at City Hall. And I'll just double check to make sure that we didn't have anybody adding in on Zoom. And it does not appear so. So I will go ahead and close open forum, and we'll move to number 5, which is adoption of the agenda.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
All right, I have a motion by Councilmember Dennis, second by Councilmember Thiede. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving right along, we're to 6, which is presentations. A is the 2020 Green Garden Awards, and Marcus and our group of interns our horticulturalist is going to come up and give us a presentation, and I won't steal your thunder other than to say we did get to meet the some of the winners earlier this evening. So I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Bailey, members of the council, my name is Marcus Honcharenko. I am the horticulturist for the city of Cottage Grove as a part of the Parks Department. Every year we do the Green Garden Award. We do 3 categories. This year we did a residential category, a commercial category, and a residential container category. This is the 3rd year that I've been a part of the Green Garden Award. We've seen it grow every year since I started. We had 3 nominations my first year, and this year we were right around 20 nominations. So it's good to see that people are, especially in a year like this, where people had a little bit of extra time to get out and put some work into their yards and really help out the community. With me tonight are my 2 horticulture interns for the summer, Kevin Link and Leslie Owsley, and they will help present as well.
All right. So for our first award, we went with a commercial category just to celebrate all the businesses that help make the city look great. Our winner this year was Garden World. We really liked the work they put into their sign that's right on the road. And then they also have a very nice area in front of their reception area that they upkeep. They keep it clean, and you can also see that area from the road as well. So it's nice to see some beauty in like the industrial neighborhood of Cottage Grove.
All right. And then for the residential winners for the Green Garden Award, we went with Sandy and Gary Borst. We chose them as winners because of the history that they have in their landscape. Gary made an arbor for their wedding, and they have a beautiful impatiens, as you can see underneath it. And it's right as you go up their driveway, so you can see it as soon as you get to their house. And they also have a vegetable garden in their backyard where they show their grandchildren like where their food comes from. So that was really cool.
And then our final category was the container winner, which was Jason and Therese Stomes. Wow. They live in a townhouse. They don't have a lot to work with, but they like to show that even if you have a little bit, you can still do a lot. He's got just over 80 pots, I think he told me when I went and visited with him. And they're all on individual water lines that he's all got set up on 18 zones that he runs with a little remote. And it was very impressive to see the work that he puts in. So it was a no-brainer to choose them as the container winner for this year. And then in closing, these are just a couple other pictures from some of the other nominations we had this year. Said it was right around 20 total. It's pretty cool to see. I like doing the award every year just to see the work that people put in throughout the community. It's pretty amazing. We all know there's yards that don't look too good, and so it's nice to see the yards that do and to meet the people who put the work in. So, thank you.
Fantastic. And first of all, we did, as I was mentioning earlier this evening, we did do a social distance presentation out in front of City Hall by where our Pine Ridge Garden Club actually does all the nice flowers and such here at City Hall with the winners. And it was very impressive to see and hear them talk. Matter of fact, the one gentleman from Garden World did say, yeah, he literally is the guy that does it. So it was kind of cool to see that. And then those containers, I mean, you can be in a townhome in Cottage Grove and do something like that, or in an apartment with a patio or whatever. So, I mean, it is, to have that green thumb, you can still do it, no matter if you own a home or don't own a home, you can, or rent, you can do that. And then from me, I just want to thank the three of you. Now, are you all still coming back next year, or are you done now?
I think we're done after next week.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, the reason I bring that up is, a lot of times, like you were saying, we've had, you guys have done an amazing job going through, and let alone, picking, and which is a tough job, looking at all these pictures, picking them. But when you look at our community, with Public Works and such being part of that, of course, all the work that's done in our community on all the flower beds and such, and I mentioned Pine Ridge or the Garden Club, which they obviously do stuff too, but you guys are out there planting flowers and doing all that kind of stuff too. So I just want to say thank you. You help beautify our city. You make it much more feel like home, and we do hear a lot of people that come up to me personally and say, wow, how do you do that? Or who does that? And I'm like, that's our interns. They're doing that stuff for us. So it's kind of cool. And I am also got a green thumb myself. So when I get to see those pots and those different things you guys are doing, it's impressive. So thank you. And good luck with whatever your future endeavors are now after this year. Yeah. Any other comments, council? All right. Thank you. Thank you both, all of you.
Thanks.
All right, next on our agenda is consent calendar. Is there any items that council would like to pull on consent? Councilmember Olson?
D, please.
D, okay. And I think Councilmember Thiede, you said N?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, I will then go ahead and we'll start with Councilmember Olson, D, which is a Public Safety Board donation.
Thank you very much, Mayor, other members of the council. This item is a donation from our Public Safety Board for our second speed sign to be used in the community. The name of this sign is the Traffic Logic Safe Pace Evolution 11 portable speed sign. I'm sure many of our residents have seen these signs as the Public Safety Department tends to move them around the community based on sort of hot spots or areas where we have challenges with speed. And these signs are very advanced in terms of what they can do. They don't just report speed so that the driver can visibly see whether they're traveling over the speed limit for the prescribed road. But these signs also collect the time that a car passes, the speed, the average speed on that roadway. It also gets traffic counts for us, et cetera. So again, this is the second one of these signs that our Public Safety Board has generously donated to the city. The value of this sign is almost $3,000, so this isn't a cheap piece of equipment. And as you know, our Public Safety Board does an awful lot for the Public Safety Department here in the city of Cottage Grove, including they manage the Woolery Scholarship that that my wife and I started a few years ago and that Councilmember Dennis and I donate to every year. They do a number of things with Night to Unite when we can have Night to Unite, although this year we weren't able to do that. So we really are grateful to the Public Safety Board for their ongoing support for the Public Safety Department in the city of Cottage Grove and our residents. And these speed signs are a great way to help us when we have, challenges with speed on, local roadways or even neighborhood roadways.
All done. I have to keep flipping my mask off. The one thing I will mention, it's a great call out, and we do thank the safety board, Public Safety Board, for the fact that with COVID, we've been getting, as I look at Greg in the background, or in the back there, from the police department, we are getting a lot more complaints about speed. And we believe that part of the reason for that is due to people are home now. So they're seeing stuff happening because more and more people are working from home. And so our police are doing a lot more enforcement in certain zones and areas, but we've had a lot of requests for speed signs. So the fact that they're donating this is a great thing. So thanks to them for doing that. Next, Councilmember Thiede is N, which is purchase of data center storage solution.
So, as many of you know, my day job is selling IT infrastructure, enterprise level IT infrastructure, and so I did counsel with Brian some on this purchase of data center storage VDI solution. It's actually what's called a hyper-converged infrastructure (HCI) solution, and we sell quite a bit of that. Unfortunately, I couldn't sell it to the city. But but I do know a lot of people at in the scale computing system is actually the I would say probably the best choice for the city, and it turns out that I know a lot of people in the company. They're a great company to work for, and if they never, for any reason they don't do something right, they know my voice, let's put it that way. But so I've got quite a few happy customers. In fact, all my customers are happy for scale, and so I fully support this purchase, and it'll be a good purchase that'll allow us to go into the future. And with hyperconverged, you actually add nodes, so as you need more, it's a great thing for not having to really rip and replace a lot of stuff. As you upgrade and such, you can, it's very flexible in that you can add new nodes and such, and upgrade the nodes, and so I guess I think it's a great choice, and I look for you guys' support on that.
All right, fantastic. All right, seeing no other items that were pulled on consent at this point.
Move consent.
All right, we have a motion by Councilmember Olson.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Dennis. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. If anybody was here or interested in items that were on the consent calendar this evening, all of those items have been approved. 8 is approved disbursements. 8A is to pay the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
We have a motion by Councilmember Dennis.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Thiede. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 9 is public hearings. There is none tonight. Bid awards is number 10. There is none tonight. There is nothing on our regular agenda for number 11. So we'll go with 12, which is council comments and requests. I'll start with Councilmember Dennis.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. First, if I could, I would like to represent my colleague, Councilmember Mills, who's not here tonight, with a special message that she wanted me to share on behalf of the community. This involves the Minnesota Sings effort, and I happen to have tonight a little handout up here at the dais, if people can take a peek at that. Minnesota Sings encourages you to warm up your voice and put on your best smile and submit your video for the 2020 Minnesota Sings performance. Normally, this contest is held during Strawberry Fest. However, due to the pandemic this year, the city would normally host that contest. We were not able to do it in real time, and so what we're looking for is an opportunity to select up to 4 vocalists to represent our community at the state competition in September. Now, that'll be an event that is done online with proper distancing measures. So all competition is done virtually and for amateur singers, and there are two different categories. The first is 13 to 20 years of age, and the second is 21 and older. The deadline is September 7th, and for more information on this, we can go to the city's website or Facebook page, and I will read very quickly, cottagegrovemen.gov/Minnesota Sings. That'll get you right where you need to go if you or someone you know would like to participate in that and represent our community. So with that said, that was the first thing, and then now I will take a quick moment to represent myself. Tonight I am sporting my Cottage Grove Area Chamber of Commerce mask. And so I'm a member of the chamber and also serve, as the mayor knows, as council liaison for the chamber. And so on the 28th of September, the chamber is holding their annual Golf Classic. Now, this is an opportunity to come and support the community and network with others by participating in the Classic, which will be held down at River Oaks Golf Course on that day. And the title of this, let me see here, is actually Swing for Scholarships. So this is an opportunity to give back on behalf of both businesses that support the chamber and also other individuals that would like to be part of that. So we have an opportunity to enjoy 18 holes of golf at River Oaks, have a wonderful lunch. They're going to have some contests and all kinds of other neat things that will be benefiting the Chamber Scholarship Fund. And then, so again, Monday, September 28th at River Oaks, 7:30 a.m. is registration, 8 to 10 a.m. is a quick start. And I will give you the website for the chamber, www.cottagegrovechamber.org. And that's what I have tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dennis. I will jump over to Mr. Thiede. Did you have anything you wanted to share tonight?
No.
All right. Councilmember Olson.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Piggybacking on the comments of my colleague, Councilmember Dennis, about River Oaks, it was my pleasure to play River Oaks on Sunday with our Public Safety Director, Pete Kerner, and our State Senator, Carla Bigham, as well as with my wife, in support of the Park High School Hall of Fame golf tournament this year. River Oaks, as always, did a magnificent job of hosting the tournament, and Chef James and the team down there did a good job with some lunch at the turn. We had 23 teams who came out to play, and this tournament is in support of the Park High School Hall of Fame, which each year distributes a $1,000 scholarship to one male and one female graduating senior from Park High School. So really a great time. It was a beautiful day weather-wise. Yours truly even hit a couple of nice putts. Other than that, it was Public Safety Director Kerner who carried our team. But we had an awful lot of fun for a great cause. So if you've not played River Oaks or if you haven't been there in a while, I would encourage you to get out and play. The course is in great shape. And certainly the Chamber Golf Tournament would be a terrific opportunity to play for a very good cause. The weekend was also very busy with a few other things. We had our City of Cottage Grove Fire Department do their quarterly training out at our Hero Center on Saturday morning. That was a lot of fun. I got to spend a couple hours with the fire department and go through each of the 5 stations that they had set up for training, which included use of the moving walls inside the Hero Center loft, where they were able to do some extraction training, and they were able to really put the smoke and a real-life scenario together for that training. So I'm grateful to Chief Redinas and the command staff there in the fire department, as well as our public safety team, for allowing me the opportunity to spend some time with them. And I had so much fun there that I got really hungry, and I had to go out to Woodridge Park to watch our Park and Rec Director, Zach Doctor's team, play in the boys 14 and 15-year-old Cottage Grove World Series. St. Paul Park Newport Lions were out there. They were grilling some hot dogs and some hamburgers. People were socially distancing, but definitely taking advantage of the great weather and some really fun ball games. So it was a lot of fun to spend some time out there watching the kids play. It's been a while since I've been able to get to a ball game. It seems like forever. So just being out in the sun and hearing the noise and really watching the kids out on the diamond make some great plays was a lot of fun. And I want to congratulate Zach and his team because they actually ended up winning the entire tournament. I'm not going to say it was rigged like the NHL, doing their draft and the golf balls and all that kind of stuff. But the team definitely looked good when I was watching them play. They did a good job. So again, lots and lots of fun. And a couple other things I just want to touch on real briefly. Councilmember Mills, who is not here tonight, will be joining me on the 30th of this month at Hamlet Park from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's a Sunday evening for what we are tentatively calling Politics in the Park. We are looking to have residents of the city of Cottage Grove visit with us in a socially distanced fashion at Hamlet Park on the 30th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. to talk to us about anything that's on your mind relative to city operations, the way things have been going, growth, development, any concerns you might have about your neighborhoods or things of that nature. We're available for you. One of our commitments has always been to be engaged and to be engaging. And we like to do these things a couple times a year. We had one early this spring in March here at City Hall where we had a listening session. And nobody was able to come to that one, so we're not sure if that is a good thing or not. Hopefully that means people are pretty happy. But you do have another opportunity to come to visit with us on the 30th at Hamlet Park. Bring your lawn chair, and we will be there for you from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. More info on that will be shared on social media so that folks know kind of where to be and when to be there. But I wanted to make mention of that. And then the last thing that I wanted to touch on tonight is really how awesome the budget process went this year. We really had a nice flow to the whole process, and I want to thank our staff for putting together such great information for us. We typically, during the budget cycle, we have to analyze every department. We have to analyze a lot of different things to try to determine, how are we wanting to move forward into the next year and the following year. And there's a lot of heavy lifting that goes in there. Our job is actually the easy part. It's mostly the staff who has to put together the presentations and all the data. And our staff really did a magnificent job this year. We've been very blessed in the city to have, terrific growth over the last 10 years. Our tax base continues to grow. Our residential development and commercial development continues to be very successful. We see more and more houses and permits and things of that nature. And we really came out of this budget in great shape financially and able to do a number of things that the residents of the city deserve from their city government at a very reasonable price. So thank you. And I'm finished.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Olson. The only thing I wanted to bring up, and it kind of maybe is a little bit of a good segue, is one of the things that we try to do, especially in the budgeting process, well, everything, but budgeting specifically, is to keep the public informed exactly about what we're doing and where's the money going. Robin and the staff here truly do amazing job to understand where everything goes, and I don't know sometimes how we pinch pennies the way we do, but we certainly do. And one of the things that we do is obviously we want to get information out to the public as best we can. And one of the ways we've been doing it over the years is through our cable access channel. And so what we did recently, and this is why I want to bring this up this evening, is we put together like a scenario or such, and this year it was based on kind of the ice arena idea, and talking about, how did we get to where we are with our budget for this year. And just so the public is aware, at our first meeting in September, which is done by law, we will have to adopt a budget, and then in December, we will then certify, if you will, the budget to make sure there's a chance to make some changes. You can't go up, but you could go down, and we talked a little bit about that as a council. Obviously, with social media, sometimes you get a lot of questions and you get a lot of people that might get concerned or say, well, how can you be doing this and how can you be doing that? And so what I thought I would do just for a moment, and I appreciate staff, every year we ask them, give us some data so that we can share with the general public exactly what's happening within the community, what's the changes that have been going on. And we actually like to look back, to be honest with you, about 10 years. Look back 10 years to kind of figure out what are some of the changes that have happened over the years. So when people go, our taxes should be going down, or have no tax increases, in some cases that's truly happening. But just to understand where some of your dollars are going, and I know Robin will be sharing with us, and we'll have all this data available to the public, and some of it's already out there on our website. But I thought I would share a few tidbits of info. So first of all, just for the general public, in the last 10 years in Cottage Grove, we have grown our homes, meaning the number of new homes that we have that have been built here, is 1,322. So we have increased the number of homes in our community by over 1,300 as of now, as of this point. Our tax capacity value, so the amount of tax capacity that we've had in our community, has grown 64% over the last 10 years. And that is also including the times when we were in, if you think about the 10 years, we were in a pretty deep depression back 6-7 years ago, about, I think 7-8 years ago or so. And so there is some interesting data there. The growth in our market rate is 62%. So the values, because of our community and the work that we're putting into our community to get things done, is quite remarkable, meaning people are selling their houses very quickly right now, and they're selling them for more. Now, I'm sure there's anomalies out there, but I'm just saying on the average, people are selling them for way more than they actually purchased them for, especially if you've held your home for a while. I thought also it would be interesting because people ask about commercial. One of the other things is Cottage Grove's commercial vacancy rate right now in retail is 6.2%. The metro is at 7.5%. In office, open office space, so vacancies, we're at 7.4%, and the total metro right now is at 11.9%. So actually, Cottage Grove is in a much better place when it comes to what's going on in the economy right now, as well for both retail and office. And I would just share with you that as you look over the years, if you go back to 2017, office vacancies were at 9.9 and retail was 11.9. So again, you can see we've made some, what I'll call some significant improvements. And then the other ones that is kind of interesting, I've noticed as we're looking at the future, we have made some major investments in our community. Frankly, this building is an investment. Training at the Hero Center has been an investment. We built a new fire station because we needed to, we had to. The old one was not safe, to be quite honest, I guess. We have to buy ambulances. And again, I'm just sharing with some general things for the public. So back in 2010, an average ambulance cost us $135,000. In 2020, that's $235,000. So when you think about, even if we just said we're just doing exactly what we did in the last 10 years, just the cost of doing business and purchasing an ambulance in today's day and age has increased significantly. We just purchased a new aerial truck, and the purpose of that was because our current ladder truck was not capable of getting us to certain heights and certain buildings from the street. So we needed something that's longer that could literally rescue somebody from even just a regular house, let alone anything else, apartments or such. And then it's interesting too, back in 2010, the amount of medical calls that we've done on our EMS system was 1,968. And in 2019, that is at 2,862. So in that period of time, that's a 45% increase in calls. So obviously, with the increase in calls and the increase in needs, that means we have to have the duty crews, we have the people that we're doing, public safety, police, and so on. And then the last thing I'll just mention, and again, all this data, and there's a lot more than I'm just kind of bouncing around a little bit here. What Robin has done for us over the years, and Robin, our finance director, is provide us with 4 households in Cottage Grove of different values. And of these 4 households, what we've always asked is tell us over the years what's the city's portion of the taxes in this particular case. And on average, just to put it out there, from an average year over the last 10 years, the city's tax rate or tax increase was 2.5%. There were some years in there that there wasn't any tax increases, matter of fact, some tax decreases. And matter of fact, when you take a look at these 4 properties, as we even look at 2021 for the next budget cycle, there are some of these properties where their actual amount of taxes that they're paying, will pay in 2021 will be less than what they're paying in 2020. And so when you see the number, and I know, and our administrator knows, Robin knows, I ask all the time, how do we help the public understand that when they look at their tax bill, what the number really means? And what, a lot of people say, well, my taxes went up thousands of dollars. Well, that's probably looking at all the taxes. That's looking at school district, that's looking at, school district probably the biggest one, I guess, but the county, watershed, and the city of Cottage Grove. But I would tell you that we don't see any homes in Cottage Grove where their taxes are going up that significantly. And when I look at this, just to put it out there, on average, we're talking about an increase in the last 10 years from 2012 to what we're projecting for 2021, around $2 more a month from what you paid back in 2012 to what you're going to be paying or would be paying should the budget cycle pass in 2021. So that's $2.09 a month for this one household, $2.17 a month for the second, the third one is $2.25, and the fourth one is $1.22, which is actually a decrease from last year. So I just wanted to share, Cottage Grove has gotten a lot of public accolades for our managing the budgets, fiscally conservative community. We're very careful with the tax dollars. I totally understand. I know this council totally understands the importance of what we need to do to manage our budgets in this COVID time. There are a lot of cities out there right now that are hurting. Our city is been managing our budgets year after year. We put money aside to make sure that when the down years come, and they do come, that we have money put aside so that we can do that. So I just wanted to share that with the public because I think it's important. And again, if anybody has questions, I absolutely ask you to reach out to one of us, myself, talk to our staff. I know Robin and Scott, I know, is reaching out to some of the people that had questions or concerns maybe on the Facebook posting, to be able to invite you in and share with you and to show you literally, we have open books. It's open. We want you to see exactly where your dollars are going. And we don't waste money, literally will not waste money in this community. We're very, very, very careful about that. And frankly, because of how we're managing the budget, that's also why this council made the decision to postpone the referendum this year for the community center for at least 1 year, and we'll just kind of see how things are going. So I thought I would just mention those comments to both the council up here and to the public in general. And again, thank you to staff for providing us with the data. And I know you'll be sharing some of this. I hope I didn't steal all your thunder in the next council meeting, Robin, but I think this will help, for our public, the general public, to understand where their money is going when they're paying their taxes. Okay? All right. Councilmember Thede, you had something you wanted? Yeah, go ahead.
So just to kind of key on that, number one is there is a very nice video that was made by the South Washington County Telecommunications Commission. And somebody I did read on Facebook said, wow, that was quite a fancy video. It must have cost a lot of money. Well, that's a compliment to the SWCTC, I guess, because it didn't cost the city anything. It's part of the different videos and things like that they make for us. So thank you, SWCTC, and people can go take a look at that, talk a little bit about the budget and things like that. And one of the important things that I always try to say is when people talk taxes, is the city's portion, because that's the only thing that we have control of. And if looking at my tax bill for 2020, it turns out that the school district was 48%, the city was 28% and the county was 20%. So, and I think the video actually it was very close to that. It was like about 47, 20, and 20 something, similar. So, so kind of make sure that you kind of take a look at that too. And mind you, definitely we're always going through and looking at the numbers and comparing and as many of the city employees and city council will attest that they sometimes get tired of me kind of hitting up on the numbers. But so at any rate, I'll say that. And the other thing I just wanted to say is that in memory of the state fair and the Great Minnesota Get-Together, I've got my state fair cap on. So unfortunately, we're not all going to be able to go to the fair. Unfortunately, I didn't get the tickets for the driving through there and so forth. They were gone immediately. But happy Great Minnesota Get-Together time, and there you go.
Well, we can make one quick real plug and then we can keep moving to finish here. But there is some food trucks that are going to be down at Hy-Vee this weekend, starting tomorrow. So for those that were concerned that we didn't allow food trucks in Cottage Grove, as you'll be able to see, we do allow food trucks. And there's actually some really good ones down there, I noticed too. So we're pretty excited that they'll have those options there. Councilmember Olson?
Thank you, Mayor. You did a really nice job of articulating the value that the homeowner in the city of Cottage Grove gets with respect to the city services and the amenities in the city for what they pay in taxes. One other tidbit of information that I know Robin will likely share at the next meeting. If you look at that 10-year snapshot that you talked about, and you look at the fact that we have grown significantly with respect to the tax base from commercial and residential development. And we've also been very, very, very careful with our money, even though we've added miles and miles and miles of roadway, more parks, more green space, more trailways, of course, things that you have to build and then maintain. Our tax rate for the city of Cottage Grove has gone from that 10 years ago mark that you mentioned of 41.29% down to 36.95%. So we've actually reduced the tax rate in the city of Cottage Grove significantly over that same time span, even with the investments that we've made, because we've been very, very careful and very planful about where we put our money, when do we make an investment, refinancing debt when we can, ensuring that as we grow staff members, we grow in the right places so that we can maintain the infrastructure which are beneficial to the residents of the community. So again, you did a nice job of articulating that, and I just wanted to layer that piece on that the tax rate's actually gone down in that time frame.
Yep. Thank you. All right, seeing no other comments, 13 is workshop open to public, which there are none this evening. 14 is the workshop closed to the public. There is none this evening. So we're moving through this meeting pretty quick. So now I'm looking for 15, which is an adjournment. Who wants to make the motion?
Move to adjourn.
All right, so I have a motion by Councilmember Olson, second by Councilmember Thiede. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.